I had failed and succeeded, and I started over 20 businesses, 17 of them failed. And we unfortunately live now in this culture that almost glorifies failure. Like, we're supposed to be so happy, oh, fail fast, fail. It's like this failure pornography almost, that we just worship people who fail and then somehow succeed. But I can tell you, like, failure is really unpleasant, and it's much better to view it as, like an experiment. Like Thomas Edison, he didn't fail 10,000 times when he was making an electric light bulb. He just experimented, and then he made an electric light bulb. We don't consider that the guy was lying on the street about to kill himself on the very first try. He tried 10,000 times. Always have a plan B. So remember, and this is all census data, the average multimillionaire in the US has 7 different sources of income. So that means they have plan Bs all the time. So there's never a question, like, okay, if that was not working, like I had a business that I invested in a lot of money recently, and it wasn't working. But I have plan Bs. I have like the 7 other plan Bs. So I'm able to say, okay, this is bringing me down every time I talk to you guys. I'm not going to talk to you anymore unless you have something good to say to me. And I could drop, they could kick and scream, but you put all this money in. I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. I have plan Bs. So all the time think about how many plan Bs. Notice when I had a job at HBO, I had a plan B. Before I left my job at HBO, I had my company running on the side for 18 months before I left full time. I had 12 employees at my company. So always have the plan Bs, and then it's easy to leave early in every situation. Now again, you don't have plan Bs in relationships. There's other things there you have to be careful of, but that's another talk. You really can't be around negative people or people who are going to put you down. Who's going to put you down? It's not the neighbor down the street, it's your mother. Or it's, it's true. Or it's like your friend or your colleague. Like you can't, and if they want to engage with you in the negativity, you can't argue with them. You're like, okay, I hear you. I'm going to, eat my food now or whatever. So, it's like, for instance, I see this, I did a Reddit yesterday, a Reddit AMA, one of those things that's like a Q&A thing. And you see all the time, people are trying to like say negative stuff just to get you sucked in. You see it on the internet all the time. They call it like internet trolls. You never ever respond to any of that. Nothing ever good, no life will ever be saved by you responding to someone who's negative to you. So this is very important. Then the next step is obviously surround yourself with completely positive people who are inspiring to you, who are supportive of you. That works very well. You need to have some meaning in your life. And so it's meaning in your life that causes you to have ideas that will help people. And that's how you create, there's a saying, if you help 1 million people, you'll make $1 million. So that's, the dollars is like the side effect of helping people. First, people have to be helped. And then that means first you have to be really good at coming up with ideas. So I always say you have to have this idea muscle that you exercise regularly and get it really, so you're an idea machine so that you could then help people, which then in turn helps you figure out how to make money. Or you don't even have to figure it out at that point, you'll make money. Waking up every morning and figuring out, even in a difficult situation, where the pieces of gratitude are. So like coming into the city yesterday or the day before, I was stuck in traffic and I was late for something and I was like, ugh, you gotta go faster. But this is an opportunity to solve a difficult gratitude problem, which is, it's the city I'm going to is so amazing and wonderful that everyone else wants to be here even faster than me. So I'm grateful to be going into this city. There was similarities between all these types of sales, which is you get someone to say, you give, okay, then you get someone to say yes, so your foot's in the door. You do anything you can to get the yes. And then I would always over-deliver. I kind of left this part out. I would always over-deliver, at least initially. I would work so hard to over-deliver, just do something that they didn't expect. So for instance, I'll just tell you on StockPicker as an example, the day the deal was announced, the day that we officially launched our partnership, I released a whole new section of the site that they weren't even expecting, which was a Q&A, kind of like almost like a Quora-like sub-site within the site. And that doubled our traffic almost overnight. And they were completely not expecting it. So I always made an attempt when I was first building a relationship, and all through the relationship really, but it's easiest to do when you're first building the relationship is to surprise and delight. Like always give extra services. So when I was in the web design business in the 90s, we did Miramax.com, New Line, Fine Line, Warner Brothers. We did all the movie studios that were based in New York. We did all the record labels based in New York. So we were kind of like, our sector was the entertainment industry. And we always, no matter what, we always over-delivered on every site that we spec'd out. Every time we had a meeting with the client, there was always extra things. So nobody could ever complain, oh, this isn't what we asked for, because we always delivered more. And so that was an important part of being a trusted source so that people will continue to use our services on the next sites. We all have to decide for ourselves what our individual dream is. Don't subscribe to some mass hypnosis dream that was designed to get us to spend as much money and time on other people's dreams as possible. Choose your own dream and follow that first. Writing down these 10 ideas a day, if you do it for 3 months, just try it for 3 months. You don't have to try it after that, because I know you're all going to write to me and say, I can't believe, like my brain's like Bradley Cooper in Limitless now. Like I can't believe what happened now that I'm writing 10 ideas a day down. We all the time have many choices in life. And a great and wise man once said, if you don't make the choices in your own life, then someone else is going to end up making them for you, and it won't be good. So it might be a boss, it might be a professor, it might be your parents, it might be colleagues, someone else, might be a company, someone else is going to start making choices for you, and they're not going to be as good as the choices you can make yourself. Of course, that great and wise man was myself, being very humble here. How do you execute, basically? Yeah. So it's like your brother, you have a team. You have people who help you. You know this as well as I do. Like, I just had a book come out Monday. So I'm good at the writing part. I don't know how to design a hardcover. I don't know how to do the interior design. I'm not actually that good at picking the title of a book. I'm not that great at marketing. I didn't know how to make an audio book. I didn't know how to do anything. So I outsourced every single piece of that. And by the way, then I also got a pre-order of 5,000 copies of the hardcover to completely pay for all of the expenses I had on the book. So the book itself, to publish it, so I self-published, cost $30,000 about, give or take. I completely pre-ordered to get more than that. And then on top of that, I've also made more than that just from the marketing that I outsourced. So to Mr. Ryan Holiday, who you know well. So.